Hey everybody, Juan here for Pocketnow with a quick look at the state of the smartphone industry. We're about halfway through the summer and we're expecting some big releases from Samsung and LG, followed up by some smartphone fall releases from Apple and Google. But looking over the sales data over the last couple of months, we're curious where you think we'll see the fiercest competition. The United States seems to be a pretty well-matured market. Looking at sales data up until the month of May, Apple at 44%, Samsung at 29%, LG at 10%, Moto at 4%, and HTC at 2%, that only leaves 11% of the market for other. That's not a lot of room for another manufacturer to climb into this space and try and act as a market disruptor, especially when only 2 players in this market represent over 70% of consumer sales. This is also coming on the heels of some really exciting news that smartphone penetration in the United States has topped 80%. The smartphone has become one of those ubiquitous gadgets. We all need to have one. One of the only consumer electronics more popular is the television, which has been holding steady at 96% of American homes. But to contrast that, the world market is a lot more volatile, especially as India and China are starting to flex their economic muscle. Here we see the top 2 players flip, with Samsung at 23% of the worldwide market and Apple only at 19%. We recently covered on Pocketnow, where they do seem to be slipping in China. It's Huawei who jumps into third at 10%, Oppo follows at 7%, Vivo at 5%, and the rest of the smartphone players around the world have 39% of the market to play with. These numbers make a lot of sense as we've seen a number of markets around the world start firing up LTE, and the consumers in those areas are often searching for more cost-effective mobile computing solutions. Though these North American sales numbers do come with a little concern. Manufacturers examining their options and looking for the best possible return on their investments might look at the United States as a no-go. Consumers here are pretty well entrenched with the brands that they're loyal to, so no one's expecting an overnight success, a smartphone that can launch here and instantly eclipse the Galaxy or the iPhone. But even cracking into the top 5 is going to take a substantial amount of marketing, advertising, boots on the ground, and support. When companies like LG, Moto, and HTC are struggling to crack into double-digit sales territory, that's not exactly a rosy outlook for a new player. And that's not exactly great news for us consumers, as we know what happens to markets when they're overly dominated by only 1 or 2 main players. To see continued progress and for us to continue getting the best of the best, competition is key, as it's only competition which will force market leaders to continue improving their products. Apple and Samsung are doing a very good job of fighting each other, but we're always happy to see another player come in to act as a market disruptor. The smartphone has handily won this generation of consumer electronics, but we want to hear from you. Do these sales numbers indicate a plateaued market, waning interest in buying a new smartphone? But does this mean there's an opportunity for another player to walk into this market and really shake things up? Or are we approaching the post-smartphone era? We're currently in the post-PC era. You know, people still have computers, they're just not necessarily the most exciting gadgets we go out to shop for. That's the really big question for me, is how can a player really step up and compete in a market that's media dominated by 2 manufacturers? I don't know, we'll probably look back on a video like this 5 years from now and think, smartphones, how quaint, as we're all plugged in with neural implants. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more editorials like these and help us out with a share on your favorite social networks. For Pocketnow, I'm Juan, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I will catch you all on the next video.